What's up, everybody? Chris Douglas here with You, Me, Spirituality. Today, after doing a session with Spencer and having a little bit of feminine energy, I went with full-fledged feminine energy. We have Kristen Daschke. I'm terrible with names. I'm such a Pisces. Like, I create nicknames for everybody. So this is the Gemini here.
I'm Kristen Daschke.
Daschke. Sorry. We literally just went over her name a minute ago, which it happens. Names are what you want to make them all, so don't be, you can call me whatever you want to call me today. Whether it's like Superman
Fishman.
or, okay, there we go. Aquaman, how about Aquaman?
No.
I go with
You don't get that title.
Oh, see, this is a perfect Pisces Gemini like interaction style right here. We're both right all the time, so nobody's left. Ooh. So, Kristen's star signs. What did you say? So she is a Sun in Gemini, a Capricorn rising sign, and a Cancer moon. Which ironically, I'm a Capricorn rising sign too.
Yes.
And it gets better. We're both numerology 11s, but I'm a 2-9-11. She's a 3-8-11. So we have the same grand path, but unfortunately, you make less money than I do at the end.
Well, that's a competition then.
Yeah, exactly.
Challenge. That's a challenge or something.
But, here's where it gets tricky too, because you're a Gemini. Geminis are known to make more money than Pisces.
Yeah.
But if I live long enough, then I might win.
I might live long enough with all the stuff that's around me.
Yeah. Oh, you never
I
know.
will live long enough.
But then you have I don't know, you got a very emotional moon in Cancer. So, which ironically, we're in the Cancer season right now. So your moon, actually we were having this conversation before. So with this whole Cancer season that's happening, Capricorns need to focus from business to fill their love void. And then Cancers are another big one since it's Cancer season. They need to focus on filling out their emotions. So as a Gemini, this is the hardest thing for you. You gotta stop using this thing, and you gotta start using this thing.
This thing is closed down.
Yeah, no, exactly. So even this video will probably like work through that block a little bit. It won't be existent afterwards, hopefully. And if it is, then I'll just like do some magic and get that aura up. So, Gemini moon, Gemini sun. You're all over the place. You like to be busy and you like to do 5 things at once because you get bored very, very easily. Is that very much
I'm a really good multitasker.
No? And if you're not multitasking, you're bored, right?
Yes.
I feel that. So I got Gemini and Mars. My motivation comes from Gemini, so I act like a Gemini through my outward actions.
Yeah, so then you're productive.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like if I'm focusing on one thing, I get bored in like 30 minutes max. And then I'm like, okay, let's do something else. But I've learned to make that flow work for me. So I'll work on pictures, like shoot content for 30 minutes. Then I'll edit for 30 minutes. Then I'll answer emails for 30 minutes. And then I'll go eat lunch for 30 minutes. But I'll endlessly have 30-minute days built out in blocks to keep myself stimulated and entertained. But if I get stressed out, then I'm like, all right, maybe let's not do 27 things tomorrow. Let's cut back to like 25. And then, ooh, Capricorn rising sign.
Yeah, so what's that mean? Because I heard it was awesome.
It's really good, especially being an 11. So at numerology 11, we make money if we stay true to ourselves. And we stick to a spiritual path because we're ascending to a new level. We're a master number. 0 to 28, so our first 28 years of life are living hell. Everything that happens for the reason to create you as this person who won't follow directions. Because it's built, like 11s are entrepreneurs. Michael Jordan, Wolfgang Mozart, Michelle Obama, Barack Obama. What business, they all had a business and they all had a mission and they were endlessly like the greatest positive manipulators who could endlessly like hold their ground until others saw their light, or they compromise enough to get the ball rolling and get the systems that need to be built. Like, especially having Capricorn as your rising sign, you hate outdated policies. Like, if something, and you hate anything that constrains you from doing what you need here and now. Like anything that is supply chain, or like, you gotta talk to this person, this person, this person, this person. As a Capricorn rising sign, and especially Gemini sun, you're like, screw that, give it to the person at the end.
Yep.
And you'll endlessly like, you shoot yourself in the foot doing that, but you also like get where you need to go on the right path right away. Capricorn rising sign as a whole, like, here is life. You have your sun on this side, your moon on this side. That's your ego, how you follow your daily life is your sun, and then your moon is your deepest internal emotions. But then you use both of those to grow to your ascendant sign. So at the end of our life, we'll both be like Capricorns, essentially. But I'm a Pisces on both ends right now, and then you're a Gemini Cancer. But then you're gonna like slowly shift to this person who loves to be a manager, loves to be in control of power. Money will bring you comfort, but you'll find that money through the most spiritual values and helping other people along the way to get to that money. Because you don't want money with a negative mindset. That creates endless outlets to the most negative problems of your life. You want positivity, a great mindset, and then the money to show up. Because when the mind's right, the time's right. When the time's right, the money's there. When the money's there, you can do whatever you want with the rest of your life. But you're going to find your true values before you get to that point in your life. And that's like me. I thought I was going to be like the next videographer of the world. And then it's like, maybe I've gotten really good at videography so I can heal people through my videos. And now I'm really good at marketing myself to get my videos out there, and I know how people want to receive them. So now I go from the spiritual head who's like, now I really know how to get your attention, and I'm a great awakener. So anybody I talk to about this, like, literally goes through like a whole life of like, but it's so cool. And now I know that it's like I attract negative people for the most part because then I like hit them with this spiritual light, and they're like, ooh, and I'm like, yeah, but then they're like. Next thing you know, they're watching my story, they're liking my pictures, they're like, okay, so what were you talking to me about this? And it's really funny, but it's fun. So essentially, your path though is very similar to that, especially with, so you're in 11, your Cancer moon means down in your heart you feel the deepest absolute emotions in the room, and you're a filler once you get out of your ego side of your Gemini brain. So the Gemini side is slowly disappearing in your life, and you're becoming more spiritual, star-driven, and then your deepest emotions, you fill out all the way. And you said this so we just came out of a essential oil lecture, and you said it spot on, like you feel people before you like know how you're gonna pursue them, or you get that feeling of like yes or no. Do you know your yes or no? Have you ever done that through meditation? What is your yes?
I don't know. I don't know how to describe it.
It's like, so for instance, my yes, I feel my stomach shift to the right. So I swallow it.
He's done more meditation than I have.
And then, so Tanya, we did this for a class. She's like, we're meditating, she's channeling it, and then she's like, ask what your yes is. And I felt my stomach just shift. I can swallow it. But if it gets stuck or it goes left, that's the side you're colon on, it's a shitty idea. And then it's almost like I almost am like gagged, like I can't swallow the thought. And then my maybe is just like in between. And then if it's a maybe, in my mind is like, could be a yes, more than likely no. Because if I'm not set on the yes, it isn't the most like highest intent for me.
I guess my feeling comes from just, I don't know, there's some natural.
So you
but
get
the physical probably is there, and I just haven't picked up on it yet.
Okay, and it could be so. A lot of times too, like your heart can feel it, and then your brain analyzes it out. And as a Gemini, that is so that's your greatest weakness. Especially with your Cancer moon, you'll feel it substantially, but then you'll let your brain talk yourself out of it. Or you'll overanalyze it to a degree that isn't relatable to it. I used to have a platonic relationship with a Gemini, and it was like we were best when we were like here with each other. But as soon as we got here, she was like tapping me on the shoulder and running, and I was like, I'm gonna go this way. And but it's very funny, like realizing it now endlessly, and then it's like, how do I get somebody's attention who's doing that? As a Gemini, I know the one thing you absolutely hate is somebody not paying attention to you. So guess what I did? I said, snip, float away. I disconnected. But when you disconnect like that, the greatest thing that can happen is they reattract. And I see the reattraction. But I don't know how that's gonna pursue, but maybe.
I'm not that egocentric, by the way.
No. But you're in 11, so you're in 11, so you have the higher value, you know, your higher self, though.
Yes.
And that's the true path of the 11 is, it's a double-sided sword.
Yeah.
But it's like this. So as you go up, you go down, and when you meet in the middle, you're perfectly balanced. And then you got triangles too. So then you got an upper triangle, lower triangle, which creates a Merkaba when you get properly aligned. And then you can attract anything and everything in the universe that is meant to be to help you lift yourself up. but your main goal in life is like your soul ascension, being an 11.
Yeah.
So other 11s, especially like, do you like G-Eazy?
Good.
G-Eazy the rapper? If you haven't listened to him, so he's a Gemini numerology 11 too. So you're gonna resonate very well with him. So I listen to G-Eazy when I get heated. West Coast was one of his songs. Tumblr Girls. Keep going. Like, it's so funny too. So whenever I get stuck as an 11, I listen to G-Eazy, and the song I pick out of all 3 of his albums always speaks to me, and I get that one sentence I'm looking for, and I'm like, done. So as an 11, so you're a 3-8, you're a little different. As a 2-9, I have to pretty much go from having comfort and materialism to giving everything away, or like G-Eazy sold all this stuff and then went on his path, and then oh my gosh, it blew up overnight. I'm literally at the point right now where I'm seeing 7s everywhere, and it's like you're spiritually ascending, you need to start a spiritual business, but you need to cut out anything physical, emotionally, or some other thing of your past that is holding you back. So essentially, it's saying I'm stuck, but I'm like literally trying to figure out what it's talking about. And I've gotten the thought of like, okay, I don't need my car anymore, which I really don't. And then I'm like, okay, maybe I can start selling a bunch of this stuff to help make money and do these revenue streams and this and that. But then I'm finding my truest momentum from doing these videos and stuff in the spiritual world, which is what I'm here to do. And it's funny, you're an 11 doing the same thing through essential oils. But you just got me into the rabbit hole of essential oils, which I'm like so happy about too.
It's gonna be a fun world.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's so, especially seeing the facts and analytics of how, coffee lowers your vibration like that. But then you smell, what oil was it?
Any of them.
Any of the oils. So you go from, say, coffee throws you down to an 11 frequency, ironically. And you smell this oil, which I had valve and frankincense on. Boom! Now I'm all the way up on a 55 frequency in a matter of 21 seconds.
It's not even, it was like 3 seconds.
Yeah, boom. So,
Yeah.
and I was like, listening to that and go, I need less stimulants in my life. I need more meditation. Maybe that's what that void is. It's saying like, get away from all these stimulants. You don't need this now. Now you get all this energy within. You need to use it and use it.
Yes. Light bulb went on.
Bingo! Alright, let's see. Cancer Moon. There's so much stuff Cancer Moon talking in my life right now.
Good, because I don't know much about it.
What do you... So deepest emotions. So this is the hardest thing. You have to disconnect your ego to get to your deepest self.
Emotions?
So you don't like emotions. I already know you emotionally block out all emotions. Which is where I'm the intuitive healer here, and I'm like, let me teach you the powers that you can have to heal yourself. And it's so cool when you learn these. That'll be something I can trade out with you.
Maybe.
That's cool. 11s for light workers. So an 11 too is the intuitive healer. Through intuition, your life 0 to 28 was hell and back. You can learn through every problem, every disconnect. You still have to fix an emotional void, which comes up later, which is a result of the yoga you probably have in your chart. But essentially, you've learned every lesson in life around the ages of 35 to 45. You take off and you do something massively in the world, or you're really well known in your community. And 11s have that choice of home or world. My grandpa was an 11, he chose home, and he built the city of Piper, so he's a construction worker. We're builders. He chose to build homes and comfort for people in his community, known as the best builder in Piper. But he was a Pisces, and I'm the Pisces over here that's all right, grandpa did that, I'm gonna one-up him. We're in the digital era, so now I'm building all these businesses that are honestly helping people as a whole, but now they're all focusing towards spirituality of some sort. And it's so what's your industry that you're building?
My industry, all about wellness and helping people to make better decisions about their health and wellness of their family.
I would say holistic wellness is what you're doing essentially.
Specifically,
Because you do massage therapy, you do essential oils. Now I've opened this light of this intuitive healing that you're probably going to get rabbit holes down. And then talking about all the chakras and energy levels today, you're ahead of me on so much information. You have no idea the power you have within, and how you can snap your fingers and get all these little fireballs in your hand.
my hands get hot.
Yeah. Oh, that's
My
awesome.
clients tell me that all the time. They're like, man, how'd you get your hands so hot? Did you use stones? No.
No, so you got a lot of fire within probably then. So are you always cold in a room? No matter what, are you more of the cold or warm body?
I'm more of a warm because I'm a Pittsburgh Ayurveda, so.
Oh, okay. I
It's
From what I remember reading, I was a mix between those two as well. But I know I'm ether energy, so I'm like exothermic, so you gotta go reverse of what happens. So I'm hot, putting out heat, 'cause I got a lot of fire within, so I'm always cold. So I'm releasing all my heat. So when you have a fever, you got the chills and you're freezing, because your body's releasing so much heat. But when I have a fever, it's ironically never as high as somebody else's fever. Like I think I said 98.6 is what a normal person sits at. I'm like 97.3, I think, most of the time. So whenever I go up to that, like whenever I'm in the lower hundreds, that's like a fever for me almost. Cancer, oh my gosh. So you have an air sign, a grounding sign, and a water sign. So deep down in the heart, you go with the flow of things. When you let everything, when your ego gets out of the way, and then where you're going gets out of the way, you just go with the flow. You're tenacious, you're creative, you're a leader. You have a double leader sign, and then Gemini's like a side leader of its own.
sweet.
So then you're like, you're all built for a mission, leading, going with the flow, you're gone like the wind, but then whenever you get to your point, you're gonna set your camp up and ground. And then build whatever you're building around that. So when you hit your ascension point, essentially, everything you have, you're going like the wind, you're going with the flow. Water, pretty much air is blowing the water, it's pushing you, you have endless momentum. When you get to that point, you're literally just like, I'm stuck here. Nobody's gonna move me because trying to move a Capricorn from their idea or their destiny, good luck. And that's right, I'm feeling the same thing too. Like, I'm just water over the place and I'm just like my greatest joke is like, try to find a box to put me in. You can't, I'm water. You build it, I'll fill it up, I'll overflow, and I'll create a new box. That's essentially what water is. And it's like, no matter what situation you're in, you'll endlessly be adaptable to get out of it. And then you're Gemini, you're quick-witted, you're smart, you learn really fast. So if you ever get pigeonholed or cornered, you're like, nope, I'm gonna run around you. I'm going like the wind. You blow right through them, and then you catch your current again. Yeah. That's essentially from this, what was the thing that resonated the most with you?
I mean, a lot of it did, all of it did. I mean, definitely.
I love
There's
it.
no ego here or anything.
No. That's just like pure like spiritual fulfillment. I'm just like, yes. I love when I knock this out of the park on people because it literally brings me a new level of confidence, a new level of like, I feel myself getting higher to my higher self.
Yeah. It's cool. I mean, it's just like that. I mean, I'm sure that feeling's no different than if somebody got off my massage table and just like, you're like, you can tell their stress is gone and they feel so much better. It's that kind of a high that we both experience, just in different capacities. So, yeah, no, it's really cool. Like, it's all spot on, and just my little bit of touching into numerology and astrology. It's like, what is this? It's like when I got into the essential oils, it's a whole new world. So. Thanks for
And it's so funny, so back to the numerology 11, you're a 3A. Essentially, through numerology, you don't get to the higher prize, but you get there sooner, which ironically, you're really well financially off right now, and I'm the typical 11 who's like, shit, what am I doing next? But then it's like, whatever wave it's put, so 11's, the coolest thing I've heard is a song by Pell and G-Eazy. We spend what we make because we make it right back. As an 11, what you set your intention to, and if you solely focus on it, it will manifest like that. And then it's like the 11th life is all about like what you see, what you think is what you create. Nobody can take that away from you, and we are known as the biggest bank busters because we have this money, boom, we want to live life's experiences, and then, oh, we'll make it right back. Don't worry, I got an easy stream of revenue to hit that.
Tax write-offs.
And we know every loophole in the industry. We're the sidekicks who can be really manipulative on a positive or negative frame, but when we learn that positivity endless gives you good karma, and karma debt is repaid very quickly from that, you endlessly strive to do positive things to help other people, and if they don't want to listen to you, then we'll positively manipulate them to get their eye or intentions in the right area, and we'll give them a little bit of something, and then they're like, and then they grow from it. But no matter what, we're like challengers. If somebody doesn't agree with us, we're like, so tell me why you don't.
Yeah.
And then endlessly ask questions till these people talk in circles, and then be like, so all I did was listen for 30 questions, and then, oh, now I have the perfect, so here's what you need. Did it just click off? Cool. I just heard something. Maybe I'm schizo. I don't know.
It's a pickleball.
So what is one question from all this that you'd like to ask? I haven't done this yet, but it came in.
One question.
You know? A psychic came in with this and I was like, I couldn't think of one. I really couldn't, because I was like, I have 1,000 questions.
There's a blanket over there if you want it.
See, look at that empathy coming out right there. That's the cancer
He's
song.
like, but it's blowing right on you.
And he's a fire sign. So he's exothermic. He's actually warming me up. I pick up fire very easily. It's kind of creepy. My lower back gets hot, starts sweating,
Yeah.
and then I'll get this little burning sensation down on my like outer shin. Anytime I'm around fire, it like literally torches me.
A question that I don't have one. It's hard to say. Is there something I should know?
That's such
Is
a
that a
broad
question?
question. Ooh, is there something you should know? In what domain? Business, love, or health and wellness? These are the three main fields.
Let's go with love, since we've
Love.
talked at least about that.
Whew, so love is an 11, it's the hardest thing to do. Easy says it so many times, like screw love, I'm chasing commas, which is like 100% Gemini I've been talking. Love is whatever, you have something blocking your heart that's holding you back, because I'm literally seeing with you and reading you, whatever I have is something that happened when I was 7 years old with my dad, but it created the greatest entrepreneur because I didn't follow rules. So what do entrepreneurs, we instantly break rules. So it's like whatever your love disconnect is related to something in the past, I probably am bringing it up to the surface by mentioning this. And with that, when it gets brought up to the surface, you have to address it and have a conversation with that person. So if somebody I know is like innocently abused, and then this is actually what I just did work on, and then I brought it to the surface, and she had this sacral block. So I brought it to the surface with like journal. You don't know what it is until you address it. When you write it down, whenever you get lost in your feelings, it's a great time to journal and then ask yourself, why am I feeling that, especially in this season? So I'm thinking about this, why am I feeling that? Write down that sentence and then ask yourself, why am I feeling that from what you write down? And then you'll get this perfect paragraph of why you feel that way about that emotion, and then you bring it to the surface, and then from there it's like, where do I need to go or who do I need to talk to? You're probably holding a grudge against somebody, which I myself to do. Even though, but your greatest toxicity is from your own grudges. As soon as you're at peace with it, that's healing. So then you look at why it happened, the positives of it, where you're growing, the negatives of it, what it taught you, and then you look at it as this whole big circle and you're like, it happened for a reason, I'm at peace with it, thank you. Now what can I do to send the person who caused me that pain? Like, what can I do to help them, and why do they cause this pain on me? Because now that's healing. Now they have some void where they didn't have control or power or this and that, and now they shift it to you to fill it. But all they're trying to do is bring other people down to feel their pain being covered by that void, in a sense. And that's like the 11s, like all 11s have something that happened very early to them that creates this monster that we become, and then we go really dark, and then we get really light, and then we start helping others. But then, and you're a 3-8, so I'm a 2-9, so I have love and romance going with emotional education through life. So I kind of like to do this, which I'm working on making it do this. So you're at 3, so you're a teacher, or no, the great communicator, and then you're a balance between spirituality and materialism. So now you have to balance, so you have 2 life paths too, which is endlessly exhausting. But now you're rising to greatness. Somebody who has like numerology 1 through 9 can get here. With dual signs, you can get here. But it's like you have to want to get there and you have to instantly chase it.
It's never ending.
And you're going to live forever too. 11s, we're cockroaches.
Well, it's crazy because it feels like time, like, I mean, we are limited on time, but it's like, for me, like, there's always a deadline there, even though there actually isn't.
You have a yod in your chart then.
Oh.
So the yod, so I found a yod in mine, I didn't know what it was. Beth and I looked it up. It's this endless drive to complete stuff, even though there's nothing on the table that you need to do, but you instantly have this. So you think your life on earth is limited. People who have had a yod, the most significant I remember is Pablo Picasso. He healed people through art. Then you have Martha Stewart's one of them, and then Tom Cruise was another. But it's like all these people are very significant in what they did, and they had to unbury something from their childhood, which is a yod is. You have something that endlessly pushes you and motivates you until somebody brings it up. Now you have to go back and find out what happened at like around age 5 to 7 or 8 that created the monster you are today. And what that was something that happened where you probably lost like power and you were exposed to some degree that you didn't want to be exposed. But you repressed it and you built all these layers of onions around it, and then you have to like just dig one by one to the core of it.
I'm a strong onion.
Yeah, me too. Literally trying to pull this. I created so much repression around what happened to me. They're like, Chris, just say it. And I'm like, guys, I have no idea what it is. I'm actually telling the people doing the muscle testing to me, I'm like, just say it, put it on the table. Like, I'm a Pisces, I created this imaginative world around it that it doesn't exist in me anymore. I need somebody to say it, to bring it to the surface, and I'll address it because I want to be at peace with it.
Well, it's interesting you say 6, 7, or 8. Do you
Why?
know what happened when I was 8?
What?
7, I just turned 8.
So that's the most emotional developmental part in your life. So I had something happen at 7, which made me almost autistic growing up. But then I endlessly pushed through this and through like depression, anxiety, I grew my empathy side of my brain. But then I learned how to communicate with people really well. And then I have a brain like Albert Einstein, essentially, from like how I process. And now I have this like frontal, well, I guess processing happens up here, feeling happens over here. But now I process and feel at the same time. Which is why I talk about numbers endlessly. I'm like seeing numbers just. What happened at 6, 7, or 8?
I lost my dad unexpectedly.
That, and you mentioned that today earlier. So that's like so that would be like trust versus mistrust almost, of like, you're afraid to chase love because you're afraid to lose somebody at the deepest emotion that you lost your dad.
And he was a Capricorn.
Yeah. And then so astrology actually stays in your family trees. So my grandpa was a Pisces sun. My grandma was an Aries moon. I have so much Pisces and Aries in my field. And then I'm pretty sure my grandpa's rising sun was Capricorn because he was straight business. Like,
Yeah, he owned his own company, he was a construction owner, land developer.
Yeah, 100%
Talking about building communities.
Yeah, it's like I essentially, I can't find my grandpa's rising sign because I don't know what time he was born. But I know he is a Taurus moon, a Pisces sun. And then intuitively, I'm like, he's a Capricorn. Because there's no other Capricorn in my family. I'm like, thanks, Grandpa. Like, my grandpa is like truly me. Once he passed away, all the stuff he did, like, literally, like, I got on this entrepreneur path as soon as he died. And then it's like, that's where energy's not created or destroyed, it's transferred. So, like, whatever, it's almost like your dad died in order to give you the energy to rise to more greatness. Which is a lot of people's stories in the spiritual realm that I know. It's cool. But it's like now
you're looking at it in retrospect, as you know, you go through all those years emotionally, and you get so caught up emotionally that you're not looking at it like from a logical perspective also.
Well, you're spinning in it, you're in the hell of the thought.
Right.
So this is like
You've
hell.
gone through a lot of trauma. Like, you don't think about all these other things.
A great thing that just hit me was like, I heard this in a song, and I love songs to like pick up stuff like this. Heaven is a mindset that leads you to paradise, but you can't get to the light, so now you're a seed. You're in the darkness, but now you're growing towards the light. But in darkness, you can see your light. So you know it, you grow it, you get to the surface, you grow. Now you start expanding, you start manifesting, and then boom, you just created your paradise through all of your pain. And then the more people you help along the way, or now you're this big, beautiful tree with all this fruit. People are walking by and they're like, oh, hey, I want one of those. But then you're like the tree and you're like, hey, take that. Opportunity costs something. What can I help you with, and what are you willing to give me to take that fruit? Man, I'm glad we recorded this. This is awesome.
People just come by the tree and keep picking your fruit.
Yeah.
And not give anything back.
And that's when you're like, you don't know what I put in that fruit.
Yeah.
But,
for sure.
oh my gosh, see, that was the greatest question ever. All right, quick fact real quick. Gemini's in work, since I know you're focusing on business right now. Strengths are your lively, communicative, and interesting. So you're mysterious, people easily attract you. As long as you can talk to them logically, you'll grow it. Your weaknesses are to get distracted, you can be superficial and nervous. So your nerves create your superficialness that you don't want to latch onto anybody. And you're afraid that you're going to get bored, but then you allow yourself to get distracted with something else to fill that void of commitment or whatever that is. Interaction style though, you're very forward, adaptable, and watchable. All right. Tell them about the young living. I'm still terrible with names. What is your passion with essential oils?
My passion with essential oils is the fact these do amazing things for the body, not just at a physical level, but also as an emotional and a spiritual level.
I'll say I took Valor today and then frankincense. So frankincense helps open my third eye. Low on battery, cool. So frankincense opens my third eye, and then Valor increases confidence. And now look how much confidence I had with this video. And then I came to film your class, and then you gave me the floor to like co-teach it, and then I was like, I hope I'm not overstepping, but I love this stuff. And I thought it was great too.
Yeah, no, it's amazing.
I got signed up for essential oils. Gives you this gracious numerology 11 helping me out along the way.
Yeah, when I got my set of oils, I gravitated to Valor, like you said, and the frankincense. Like, Valor was my first favorite blend.
As an 11, our greatest weakness is we don't have self-confidence in ourselves, so it's funny you say that. Continue.
Yes.
And we're perfectionists. Perfection doesn't exist. It actually creates madness. So as soon as you let something go that's not perfect, related to content or whatever out, it'll grow endlessly.
And that's why I'm not doing my website anymore.
I'm telling you, I like the perfect website. This is so awesome.
But yeah, essential oils, like, it's a whole new world. It helps to balance your body out. And through everything I've gone through in my life, my family's gone through, everybody's story is different. But it really helped us to see the light at the end of the tunnel and help grow in a healthier way. And honestly, like, it was a pivotal point when my dad passed away on many levels, including our nutrition too, for that matter, because we didn't have the best lifestyle choices when he was alive. So it was almost like, here's a wake-up call, here's what you're supposed to do. And I just started realizing that 20 years later after that happened. So kind of crazy. And talk about a pivotal point with 28, like at the age of 28.
It's like the spiritual awakening.
That was a big year for me.
Yeah.
And
it's like 20, so as a 2-9, 29 is my year that I take off, and I'm instantly growing towards that. As a 3-8, I don't want to say like 38 is like your peak. It always seems to be like the age with your numerology reference together is when you're going to hit like that tip of the iceberg, and then like plant yourself, grow yourself outward. So you stop rising vertically at 38, and then you horizontally spread your love to everybody else, which, the process like this connects to the highest point and then grows as far as it wants to go laterally.
So that's what I really love about this company, is being able to help others, and I'm not spreading myself too thin. I don't, everything is, what's on my plate is helping people to, guide and make better health and wellness choices holistically. I have a massage therapy background, my yoga background, all of that, naturopathy, and that's beside the financial benefit of it too. So just it works together.
You're balancing the materialism with spirituality through healing others.
Yes.
Through oil.
Oh.
Yes. No, that's awesome. You're like feeling your life fast.
Trying.
All right.
Not trying.
I think before the battery dies, we're gonna end this episode. So thank you for watching You Me Spirituality. Make sure you subscribe, like, tell your friends. If you have any questions or want to be on the show, comment below. And then I will definitely put your Young Living link in this. So if you're interested in essential oils, she's awesome with them. She knows the facts, especially since she's an 11 and a Gemini. So literally, if you're interested, click the link, go down the rabbit hole, and then I'm working on building her website in order to really get everybody comfortable and educated on all this stuff as well. As I just signed up today, I'm educating myself on oils now because it's endlessly been channeled to me. And now I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So thank you for being on the show. Hope I helped you out.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll have to do an episode 2 too, since you're at 11.
Yes.
Well, thank you. Have a good day.